Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about sports. Let's get into the NFL Week 3, boys. First off, we had Texans-Bears. Bears winning that game 23-20. Not a lot going on in that game.
Smith with the big interception.
Yeah. The Bears came out like 10-0.
Give me my money.
And then almost lost that game.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to pay that guy so much money to keep him.
Yeah.
For him. Good for
him. For sure. Not a lot to talk about on that one, other than
Davis Mills
that pick
did not
six.
look good.
No.
Fields did not really look good.
Yeah, Fields had like 2 interceptions, 100 yards or something. Anyways. Next.
So, next game, we had the Raiders losing to the Titans 24-22.
That was nice, right?
Titans almost giving that one up, though.
Yeah.
At least their defense played for that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
That's right.
They didn't play the rest of that quarter, but
the Titans didn't play the second half. They scored 0 points.
Yeah, their offense really took off the whole half, and their defense was like, we'll give you the third quarter, but that fourth quarter, we're not doing a damn thing.
And yet, it was still.
Oh my God, Derrick Henry is shredding our team, or shredding their team. Let's stop giving the ball.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Let's trust Ryan Tannehill.
The Titans not running enough in the second half and not scoring any points and not doing a damn thing, and the Raiders still losing.
Yeah.
Because of the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, so I got to pull up here. Sorry, Devontae Adams this season, 3 games, 17 receptions, 189 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I don't think that's what you paid all that money for.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Touchdown a game, though, is not bad.
Just named off.
He didn't do anything last week either.
Three touchdowns in 3 games.
Let me. He's got
which one of our wide receivers that we picked up have done that?
Well, we're also not paying any of them $27
enough money.
But
MVS isn't showing up for his production.
Of his 189 yards, 141 of those came in 1 game.
I was going to say.
Well, that's okay. Yeah.
Last week he had 2 catches for 12 yards. This week 5 for 36.
You want to see more than that.
Yeah.
They weren't even looking for him in their comeback. I mean, it was Waller and Renfro.
Yeah.
I think more than anybody, Devontae's probably regretting this move.
Packers are probably not happy about letting it happen either.
Yeah, Packers aren't happy.
Yeah.
No one's happy. It's different. They're all like wishing they could go back.
Hey, Aaron actually started finding some of his receivers today.
Yeah.
He did.
He had a good performance. Kind of funny. I mean, it's kind of because Christian Watson was the early round pick for him at receiver, and Dobbs was what 7th round pick.
Yeah, Dobbs has
Right.
been hot and has been hyped since camp though.
No, yeah, but it's just kind of funny. The second rounder hasn't done a darn thing yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of similar to our 7th round rookie corner compared to our 1st round rookie corner.
Yeah.
Who obviously he's not produced because of injury.
Because of injury.
in there.
Right.
But I mean, Christian Watson missed a lot of camp due to injury, so similarities,
Yeah.
He's at least
Yeah, man.
played, but
Sometimes those 7th rounders. Hey, man. I feel like we've gotten more production out of Pacheco than we have Sky Moore.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like
Neither
got
of-
negative production out of Sky Moore.
I honestly don't think either of them performed really well today in the special team.
Yeah, but at least Pacheco, we've gotten something out of.
Yeah.
Right? He's gotten a touchdown. He's gotten some.
Yeah,
some
he's gotten
runs, some catches.
62
He's done
yards.
He's done some work. Like I've at least seen him on the field. I've seen some production out of him. Sky Moore is like
Yeah, because today the Chiefs lost.
saw you muff a punt
Yeah.
today and screw up another one.
Yeah. So I guess we're into that game now. So
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it's just
It's that Colts curse with the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, I mean, didn't run the ball.
Everything about this game was just going wrong from the get-go.
Didn't run the ball enough to start the game out. Didn't obviously put yourself in a hole due to your special teams unit.
If a mistake could be made, we made it. Like
Oh,
we fucked up at every time we
Yeah.
could. We did.
And
We
you know,
shot
like,
ourselves in the foot
All
time
those
after
early
time.
mistakes felt like they weren't going to matter.
No, they
until
didn't.
Chris Jones made his boneheaded mistake in the fourth quarter on
Yeah.
the Falcons'
with
go-ahead drive.
as bad as the whole team played,
We were
Chris Jones hadn't done that.
That is the tangible play that you can look at and be like,
Yeah.
take that play out, you
That's-
probably win this game.
That's that's basically like the Watson play last week where that was the definitive play, right? His pick six was the definitive thing of that game. It wasn't the only play that we made that helped win us the game.
Yeah.
Chris Jones's mistake wasn't the only mistake we made today that lost us the game, but it was definitely the game defining thing. Like it's the thing that like you look back on, you're like, yeah, if that didn't happen,
Yeah.
completely
'Cause
different
they had-
ballgame.
They'd overcome at that time, they had overcome the other
Those mistakes, yes.
terrible
As
mistakes.
bad as it looked, and it was bad, and
And it was like even just stupid little mistakes that, yeah, you don't turn it over, but it's you bring the ball out of the end zone to get to the 10.
yeah.
Not fielding the punt and then it getting pinned back at
Guy.
the 1.
What do we do?
Yeah.
with that there, man?
Field the punt inside the 5 and fumbling it.
And
That,
So
that may be one of the dangers of putting rookies back there. Is they're just so eager to make plays.
I feel Hardman would have been back there if he was fully healthy, especially after the first.
We've been doing Sky back
launch time.
there.
Yeah, but I feel his leash would have been shorter
yeah.
had it not been for that heel.
Somebody said that the roof being open was the cause to him not seeing the ball well. But
Yeah,
I
you
saw
could-
somebody else said
Those first
he's
two kicks,
never
you could
played
tell-
outside. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong there. You play outside all the time. You should be able to see the ball when it's in the sky. And you should do that less instead of more. Sorry, I don't know.
It was bad. Like because if you look at it, our offense would move the ball down the field quite a few times, and
Yeah.
then field goals.
Listen to
Right.
this. Listen to this stat. So, Indy receiving 9 different people caught a ball. Kansas City only had 6.
That's still not terrible. Like
I
so
know,
spinning the
but
ball
you
6
look at
different
the last
times
2
is-
games, we had 8 or 9 different people catching a
I
ball.
guess I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, it was just we couldn't finish, we couldn't make the plays that we normally play or normally make. You saw Kelsey miss that touchdown pass that he normally gets. Like,
He put the blame
It
on
was-
himself
And
for
to
losing that game. So did Mahomes. So
really,
did
when you
Andy.
think about all that sort of stuff, it just seems like it was a game that they overlooked.
yeah,
There was-
it felt it's classic trap game. The Colts hadn't been playing well. The Colts had lost their first 2 games. This was their home opener. Their first 2 games on the road. They lost those. This was their home opener. Big game for them. We had just had our huge game against the Chargers. Next week we've got another primetime game against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
This was like, oh, we're Indy at noon. We should stomp. We're up. We're 5.5 point favorites. And yeah, it's classic trap game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tampa next week, both Brady and Mahomes are coming off a loss, which is when they're both really good.
I'll say you're gonna have 2
Yeah.
angry QBs.
Yeah,
Is it in Tampa or at
it's
home?
in Tampa.
Tampa's getting Mike Evans back. I wouldn't be shocked to see Julio come back. Maybe Chris Godwin. They might have their whole receiving core back.
Yeah, I was about to say their offenses look stagnant, but you get those guys back and it's
Yeah,
You know,
they
our
were without
defense-
3 really good wide receivers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what, if any, offensive changes are made to the game plan, because other than that Arizona game where we're playing against a terrible defense, the opening play calling that's scripted has looked terrible. That's all looked
yeah, that
really
doesn't
bad.
look
Yeah.
Everything just looks really, really off right now. I mean,
EB seems off. Yeah,
I'll agree with that, but this game I'll give them because our first time we had the ball, we were pinned back. I mean,
they were.
We didn't start with good field position. We were backed up. So, I mean, he didn't get to utilize a lot of his probably what he planned on. But
Yeah, you got to change it up a little when you start back like that.
Yeah.
No, and if you take away
go ahead.
if you take away the muffed punts too, like they don't score 20 points.
He only muffed one punt.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's true.
You screwed up the other
it's
one.
like I said, that's like I was saying. It wasn't just
People are
the
talking like
punts,
he
it was
like,
the
2 or 3 times.
no, I
he
wasn't saying it
screwed
was
up
just
two
the muff
punts,
punt. I was saying it was
Yeah.
the indecision to
But
field.
they got 7 off that one. You
Back.
take that away because let's just say he doesn't muff that punt. We still don't do anything and we punt away. They probably don't. Our
Like-
defense looked great
Our defense
up
looked
until
very
the
good.
penalty.
Up until the only touchdown they really gave up was the last drive. The muff punt, was from 4 yards out.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
that's nothing. Our defense looked very good. Of course, Chris Jones makes that awful fucking mistake at the very end. Our offense didn't look terrible either for like all the mistakes they did make. We were still driving the ball down the field a lot. We just couldn't come away with points because of our fucking kicking team.
Having a
Our backup kicker. So I wasn't. We definitely there in the red zone. We could have looked a lot better. Our
O
offense
line
was
looked
off.
bad too,
There's-
which we talked
there's
about
some-
off
a lot of stuff.
recording.
the right side
could've
got
done
dinged
differently.
up,
But I think all these things though are very fixable, right? The muff punts, right?
Yeah, I
The
think-
not getting those stupid penalties at the end of the game, like walk off the field when you're done, man. Like get off the field. So if once Bucker comes back, we're not missing those field goals. So it's things that I don't think we just happen to have all these terrible things happen in one game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it
I mean,
happens sometimes. You had
I
all these awful mistakes one
looked at
game.
it the same
Oh,
way.
This is also a game where we probably should have put up 40 points.
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe the
is.
Colts have a good defense. Colts had
They
a
do.
really good defense last year. Colts have a lot of guys on there. Like it's not. I mean, I guess they were missing their best one. They were missing Shaq Leonard. So
I
but they still
also
have a lot of.
I read that Chris Jones said that after the game he said that he has never been penalized for having a conversation, but obviously he said something.
Yeah, they're drawing a
You
little
don't
too
throw
big.
you don't throw a flag
was
if
yelling him,
2 people
yelling
are
at
like,
him
"Oh,
against the
hey, that
field
was a
there.
good block and that was a good,"
He said something. The ref was right there listening to him. He
Oh,
said
yeah.
something
I mean,
that
clearly they were talking trash, but I mean, I'm kind of weird. I've never seen like just
it was a
trash talking back and
ticky-tack
forth get
bullshit.
flagged.
Yeah.
Unless somebody said a racial slur or somebody
they were
And-
even the announcers like, okay, here it comes, here it comes. He must have said something.
Yeah. And I do
because
hate
it's
it, though,
like-
man. I hate that like the refs are allowing like games to be decided by stuff like that. Like he didn't put his hands on the dude.
Yeah.
But we saw it last year. Chris Jones should have known better. Chris Jones is a veteran at this point. Chris Jones needs to know, like you did your job to get off, which is to get off the field because you're the defense. Now just walk your ass off the field. Like go celebrate with your boys over the field.
Get out of there.
Don't do it.
Don't need to
But-
be out there right now.
I guess he has to.
and so, like
learn a lesson.
I don't even know Chris Jones' stats, but I remember he had a huge game today.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Snead-
nobody's
Snead
talk
had a
about
huge
God,
game.
Snead was
Snead
big
was
for man.
great
Snead,
today.
God,
Snead
what
looked
a
like an
fucking
all-pro
game.
today.
Harris looked
Doing everything.
good filling in for Willie Gay.
Darius Harris had 13 tackles.
I'll say he looked really good. He was
Looked
out there
great on
he
the
was
run
active.
game.
He can improve in the pass game, but hey, I'll take
But I'm feeling good about him being a rotation piece for us
Nick
with,
Bolton looked
you know,
freaking good today.
and I'm
He had
not
2
too-
sacks today.
Yeah,
Bolton,
Bolton did look
really
great. So I'm not
freaking
too
good.
concerned about Harris going on for the next,
Frank
3 weeks
Clark
while
got
we
home on one too. I want to say
Mhm. Yep.
Who?
Frank Clark.
Yeah,
So
Frank
did,
Clark.
Dunlap
better than
did.
I've seen him in a
Dunlap
long
forced a
time.
fumble
Yep.
that Snead recovered.
And dude, I knew I knew we were gonna get after Matt Ryan. I'm like, this dude's a fucking statue.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're gonna attack him. Like, had we not, if we didn't every week play against some like elusive quarterback, we would have like 5 or 6 sacks every week. But we always have to play against guys. We have to play against Herberts and freaking Kyler Murray's and
Hey,
you
we got
know
another
Josh
statue.
Allen's and Joe Burrow and guys that can just like
We're gonna
oh
get another
get
statue.
away and extend.
Yeah.
Hit him.
Darius Harris had the most tackles today for both teams.
Hey, man, show out.
So I guess
He
he
was active.
did his job.
Very active.
Mhm.
I mean,
Some
what did
track
Taylor?
person did.
What? How many yards did Taylor finish with?
71.
Yeah, I mean they did their job.
No
How many
touchdowns.
carries? How many carries?
He had 21 carries, 71 yards, and his longest was 13.
It's a good day for the D, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right,
getting
yeah,
depressed, guys. I'm getting so.
It's early. It's early in the season.
This is exactly when you want to have these type of losses.
Yeah.
Is-
Yeah, I was
Hey.
gonna say the one thing I want to say about this loss is I'd rather it be on the road, which it was, and I'd rather it not be to a division opponent, which it wasn't.
Right. Of course. Always.
So
Didn't last time we lost to the Colts in the regular season, didn't we win the Super Bowl?
love that stat. Love that stat.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Last time we lost to them in the regular season, I want to say.
Yeah. 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 Because that was the Jacoby Brissett
Yeah,
taking over for Andrew Luck.
yeah.
When we had
And
just
Justin
beaten Andrew Luck in the
Houston's first
playoffs the
game
year
with them.
before to retire Andrew Luck. And then
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
Justin Houston.
that was the start of that, like that 4 and like we had 4 losses in 6 weeks or something like that. 2 and 4. We had a 2 and 4 stretch.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
100%
now-
right brings that up tomorrow.
That was the start.
Oh
of it.
yeah, I
Gotta do
I
something.
beat him to it, but it won't be online until after. So you win one, Nick.
All right, yeah. Let's move off the Chiefs. Otherwise, we'll talk about them for the rest of the night.
No,
If we
I'll
talk
get
about him,
sad.
if we want to keep talking about him, I'll just separate it out.
Yeah. But Sam might go into
Yeah.
depression coma.
See
So
the feet hanging. What do you know? Just after a while.
let's move on
We
to
gotta get out.
quite the exciting game. One that I don't know a lot of people saw. P saw it, but so did I. Bills
Eagles
Dolphins.
and Commanders beat down. I'm sorry.
No, Bills losing to the Dolphins 19-21.
Yeah, pretty nutty game.
Dolphins were a hot pick.
Yeah.
Dolphins were a hot pick amongst people. Probably gonna get in some more trouble down in Miami.
Yeah.
The handling of Tua. The NFLPA is invested.
I
How
couldn't
many?
believe
brain cells
when I
did
saw
Tua
that
Yeah,
he
I
was
mean,
coming back in.
Yeah, that was
dude.
like that looked like a UFC fighter that has been knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's walking around.
Because you could
That
see
was
the
bad.
back of his head smack off that ground too. I mean,
Mhm.
like that's
Yeah,
one of the-
his head smacks the ground and he instantly goes
yeah. And it
like
gets up and
And
Flops
wobbles and
over.
stumbles and like we've seen this
Trainer,
shit
dude,
before.
I don't even think they had called a timeout. Trainer was already to him.
Yeah.
And then you see the ref kind of look over and then,
yeah, I mean everybody in the world knows that was a concussion.
oh yeah.
Like Tua
Oh,
standing
yeah.
up and wobbling around and not being able to like, dude, that was bad.
if
Oh
you-
yeah.
Get that dude off the fucking field. What are you doing? But anyways, their punter, the butt punt,
No, butt punt.
the butt punt.
And
He
Mark
punted off
Sanchez
his own
chiming
dude's
in.
ass, and it went over his head.
We saw a recreation of the 2 worst quarterback plays of all time today. Butt fumble, and we saw Jimmy
it wasn't
G
a-
step out of the back of the end zone.
The butt fumble a little different. The butt punt. Now it's a butt
yeah, the
punt.
butt punt. I mean,
and-
it was its
and
own,
not-
that was kind of its own thing.
yeah,
Mark
and then-
Sanchez tweeting though was great. Stay out of my lane.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh man.
At least he can make fun of himself.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mark Sanchez is a character.
you know, I mean, those millions and millions of dollars probably help.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's true.
Man, did you
Easy
see how
like that.
like how high that punt went though?
It flew
That
way off that dude's ass.
how
Like,
hard did it hit that dude's ass?
That
My
dude's going
God.
to have a severe bruise on the ass.
There was about like between the point of impact and his ass was about that far.
that far.
Like he got everything. He got all of it.
You know, it may have also got. Let's just say he may not be having children if he doesn't already have them.
I don't know, man. I think he almost got like by a football. Okay, like
Yeah, it was
that
bad.
is as close as you can get to having that thing get jammed right up there.
But dude, Dolphins winning that game by 2.
Yeah,
That was
So here's a crazy stat too. Jared Allen threw for 400 yards.
No,
Who only had Jared or Josh Allen? I did that earlier today too.
Jared Allen.
He ain't sitting there
Nice.
doing the rodeo.
Yeah, Josh Allen. I'm sorry.
Didn't know
Had
Jared could throw.
400 throwing yards.
Uh-huh.
Tua only had 186.
He was concussed.
Not who you expect to win the game based on those stats.
No, I mean, they also Josh Allen biggest throws were his worst throws there.
Yeah.
I mean, missing
Yeah.
wide open dudes.
I mean, and
That's
you can't base it off of the rushing either because Buffalo had a total of 115 and Miami only had 41 total rushing yards.
Yeah,
Wow.
Miami's defense played well. I mean,
Yeah, it was the
and
D.
don't break. I mean,
Mhm.
would've
Locked down
lost
when they
it.
needed to, huh?
Yeah, Miami is fucking for real.
I would
They
go as
are.
far as saying San Francisco might have lost the wrong dude on the coaching staff.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I'm not a Shanahan
Their
fan.
their offense has been non-existent this year.
Yeah.
Like
Or-
Fields, Jimmy G.
That's
it
kinda
didn't
crazy, their
matter,
offense, Their offense didn't even have to go out and look good today.
No,
Bills.
it could have looked mediocre and they would have won that game. Instead, it looked ugly. Like, anyways, what game were we on? I don't. Even...
Bills Dolphins. But we can be
Bills
done.
Dolphins.
We could be done with that one.
I mean, it's a great game, guys.
It was a
You
good
know,
game, yeah.
The Bills. Oh wait, we didn't even mention. Okay, so the Bills, right? Like trying to go down at the very end of the game. Their guy getting tackled inbounds without any timeouts. Them trying to line up, not having enough time to line back up to run another play, and the clock running out, and their offensive coordinator losing his shit, man. Just like throwing fucking tablets and like he threw his headphones out and he just starts smashing the tablet.
Did you notice
Andre on the
Man.
desk?
Did you notice
And then somebody goes and covers up the
Yeah,
screen,
yeah.
they're
That's what I
just
was about to say. He like
Dude.
completely covers it. Did you Nick Wright posted the video and he said this is not something you should ever see from a coach up in the box. Like
It's fine.
I'm like he's always trolling, like always has to throw shade at stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's
He does.
guys get pissed off too. I was throwing shit, today. I mean, I wasn't, but I felt like it, and I'm not actually a part of the team, so I can get it, man. I get it. It's fucking frustrating, and you want to throw and break some shit. So, and the NFL is just going to hand you another tablet, so it's fine. Break your tablet.
Yeah, you can
Tom
break
Brady
as
can
many
do it every
you can
week.
break as many tablets as you want as long as they're not vacuums. So
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, there's no tablet to female ratio with the NFL. I like their tablet to female or vacuum.
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
like
It's over
8.7
8
or
times. Because if you
Yeah.
take into account each woman that accused Deshaun Watson, it's under a half a game per. There's 26 and 26 women.
I've seen
What a
people do
game.
the math. It's somewhere between like 6 to 8 or something like that. I don't know. I don't do math. But it's
well, if you
the
take
conversion
pi
rate
and
is
you
weird.
times it by 3, no, I'm just kidding.
Hey, this fucking anti-vacuum slander, I'm not gonna stand for it. Like, this is 2022, guys.
Somebody has had some good times with their vacuum.
Sneaky's gonna show
okay?
up next week with a patch on. It's like pro
What
vacuum.
color ribbon is that?
Yeah.
So is that a light blue?
He's
Yeah,
got
sure.
a patch and it's remember in Spaceballs, the giant vacuum.
Suck.
Suck. Oh,
what
man.
did you do today?
All right.
We sucked. Okay.
Let's go on. Let's move on to the next game that was slated. It was Lions losing to the Vikings 24-28. But hey, they played a good football game.
They blew that game.
Yeah, they blew that game.
The
They,
Lions did.
they did everything you're supposed to do to beat the Vikings, and they lost to the fucking Vikings.
Yep.
They're the Detroit Lions.
Hey man,
They
They were
Vikings
winning a
play-
lot of that game, weren't they?
The majority of it.
Oh.
The Lions are a glass cannon and it's all offense.
Oh, so here's why they lost. Vikings only scored 14 points in the first half and then only scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. Lions scored 7-7, 10-0. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had a good third quarter.
Yeah.
They've done anything in the fourth.
Are we sleeping
Anything.
on? Are we sleeping on the Vikings, who
No.
are 2-0 in their division,
Their division
winning
might
that
be
division?
crappy.
now? What?
Like, okay, we already talked about it. Packers are never that good week one.
No, they're not. It
The
doesn't
Lions
count.
are the Lions.
Lions are the Lions.
Okay, they'll probably go 3-0 if they play the Bears before they play the Packers, or if
If
they play the
anything-
Lions again before the Packers.
If anything, I think the Vikings might be a little overrated.
yeah.
It's
If
about.
Kirk Cousins is your fucking quarterback, then you're overrated.
I'm just gonna say it's about time for the Vikings to be a wild card playoff team again. I mean, it's been been a few years
How
since they
many?
snuck
we
into
just
the
gotta-
playoffs.
We got to see how many primetime games they have, because we'll know that is at least how many losses they'll have. Probably have to factor in a couple more.
True.
But they were back to 1 o'clock today, where Kirk Cousins is he's at
He's prime
home,
Kirk Cousins.
and he did well enough.
Yeah.
Prime Kirk Cousins, not in prime time.
If he plays too many more primetime games, they'll be out of the playoff contention at all. So
Mm-hmm. Amon-Ra St. Brown broke his touchdown streak, or didn't.
He got hurt in that game.
Did he? Oh, but
He exited that. I don't know if he returned, but he definitely.
Mm.
And he broke.
hey,
He lost his 8
I mean-
eight catches streak.
The Vikings also have a new coach, so you never know what can happen there if this new
Yeah.
coach can't really put something together. And hey, man, you're 2-1 right now. You are winning your division. Who cares how you've been winning it?
Yeah.
Just keep going, man. Keep rolling.
Dalvin Cook
Hurt.
shoulder injury for the Vikings. That's gonna be something to monitor.
Mhm.
So is an 8:30 a.m. game, is that considered prime time? Because that's their next game.
They playing in London.
That might be the opposite of prime time. So that's good.
It's
for them.
against the Saints, so
And the Saints
that
have
in
looked like
London?
hot garbage
London
for
calling.
5 quarters now. There's a-
otherwise they don't play another primetime game until they play the Pats, and it's not until November 24th. So
Thanksgiving.
Alright.
Is it?
oh yeah.
8:30 a.m. at NFL.net. Jesus Christ. All right.
That's the only other primetime game they have. So
So you're saying they have a chance?
They've got a chance, guys. I bet them Vikings can get at least 10 wins. And if you
Oh,
get
that's
10
right.
wins
That's
in this
the-
NFC, you're going to
You
the
know what'll
playoffs.
happen if it's a tight division race. What the Packers will do is they'll have John Runyon Jr. hit up his daddy, and his dad will then have the NFL flex the Vikings into all the primetime openings, costing the Vikings a chance because it's all a conspiracy to help the Packers. That's why Mike Evans was suspended for this game. That's the only reason. It's because his dad has the power and he plays for the Packers.
All right. Well,
Did you not see that this week?
Did you? Yeah.
Oh, no.
They didn't
That was
have
out
Mike,
there.
dude. Mike Evans was suspended by by Runyon's
Packers
father,
left guard.
by the Packers left guard's father.
that seems fucked.
It's
Yeah,
his job though.
it is his
That-
job.
I
He
mean,
doesn't have a
that said, like,
you couldn't find somebody else. You couldn't find like and maybe get an independent arbitrator for this one too. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, like, he deserved a 1-game suspension.
kind of.
He absolutely deserved to be suspended. This is the
Yeah.
second time
Happened
he's
to
done that
be-
to the player.
Just
Same play.
happened to be right there in front of, right at the perfect timing. It's
Yeah.
fine.
boys, let's move on to the next one. We got Rams Cards. Rams beating the Cards 20-12. Cards almost came back there at the end.
Yeah, they tried.
But I mean,
Matt Stafford really tried to help the Cards.
I don't, man, they kind of look like the teams from last year. They don't look like much has changed. Like with the Cards are probably going to, or like the Cards did at the end of last year, right? The
Yeah.
Cardinals look very much the same. They, they can beat teams like the Raiders, but they're probably going to lose against the good ones.
Yeah.
Any kind of stout defense.
Maybe once DeAndre Hopkins comes back, like their offense will definitely pick up a little.
It definitely becomes a lot more interesting when Marquise Brown gets to settle into more of a deep threat role, and DeAndre Hopkins can take away some of that safety help.
So
Because I
they
think
could look scary
Marquise
after
had a really
that.
good
But
Jalen Ramsey was playing like he was trying to injure somebody today. Like that dude was out there. Like, my God.
you know,
I don't mean to like. I don't mean
Trying to
like
prove
that.
the
Like I
haters
don't mean.
wrong.
I don't think he was trying to injure anybody, but he was just hitting people
yeah,
real
no, I
hard.
get it. He was playing hard. He's trying to prove the haters wrong because they've been
Mhm.
numerous and very loud lately.
But hey,
Cooper
Hollywood,
Cup's going to score touchdowns. Sorry, P, to cut you off.
Hollywood
Except for he dropped
14
one.
catches, 140 yards
For
Yeah.
who?
for Hollywood Brown.
Mm.
So not terrible.
Yeah,
So he kind of turned it around there.
Not
he had a good day. Zach Ertz
terrible.
had 6 for 45, and Greg.
Also
George?
dropped a touchdown.
Yeah, Zach Ertz didn't. Perfect.
Which is good because I was playing against him and Kyler Murray in fantasy, and then they didn't do anything. And
Yeah, Kyler didn't get any touchdowns today.
Yep.
Sam, this is Beyond Sports Podcast, not Beyond
Right, I'm
Sports
talking about
Fantasy
beyond
Podcast.
this. I'm talking about beyond this sports thing into the fantasy as well. It's like beyond-
Just kidding.
Cooper Cup had a touchdown drop.
He did, yeah. It was so shocking, just off his fingertips. You don't see it often.
But if there's one thing you know is going to happen every week, it's that Cooper Cup's going to score at least a touchdown, and he did.
He did do that.
Yeah.
We could move off it.
It was what it was.
It wasn't a fantastic game by any means. It looked like two mediocre teams going at it.
It was about what I expected out of that matchup. For this stage in the season, I think both of these are teams that will peak later in the year.
Yeah.
I do think that the Cardinals will peak at a certain point.
They need to peak sooner rather than later because you know it's not going to be later.
Cardinals aren't going to start peaking until DeAndre Hopkins is back.
That's true.
They're going to be what you said they are until then. They're going to be able to beat the good but not the great teams.
Yeah, if Kyler can put on a good performance, it's all going to come down to him.
Kyler, yeah, I mean Kyler didn't play bad today. He didn't have a horrible day.
Didn't have any touchdowns.
Yeah, but neither did the team that beat the quarterback that beat him. Nobody else on his team. I mean, he didn't play great. I said he didn't play terrible though. He didn't have turn it over a bunch.
Speaking of terrible, Falcons defeat the Seahawks 27-23. Good job, Falcons.
Falcons didn't blow it. All right. Anyways,
You know, I mean, it's kind of interesting at times to see it come on the red zone. I was like, well, they scored way more than I thought they would.
I thought they at half. I even mentioned it. I was like, well, this game's like 20-17 at half. I thought that would be the final score.
Yeah.
Patterson had 141 rushing yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, there were some touchdowns in there.
Geno Smith had 325 passing yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
Mariota also, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
220.
229, a TD and a pick. So
DK Metcalf got his first touchdown of the season.
Hey. I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems like a good game. I didn't follow all of it. Didn't really matter, but hey, good job for the Falcons not blowing it.
Yeah. Drake London had a touchdown. Well,
Yeah, Kyle Pitts finally showing up.
yeah, Fitz had 87
Seahawks are
yards.
as bad as we thought they would probably be this year. So
Same with the Falcons.
yeah,
And the Falcons pass catchers averaged 17.6 yards per catch.
Damn.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
It's like that's a staggering number to average per reception. Yeah.
I think that quarterback looked good.
God, you only put up 27.
I mean, they are still the Falcons. They had to get to the red zone at some point.
So, all right.
Next game.
But he only lost one.
So the next game we had Packers beating the Bucks 14-12.
Let me know when
Um,
the podcast is over.
Packers got going early, and then nothing happened.
Yep.
And then the Bucks kind of fucked around.
The Bucks have done what they've done, like in the first few. Their defense has been very good, and their offense has been stagnant.
Well, and this week they were missing Evans, Godwin,
I know they get them all back next week, so
Yeah.
good, yippee for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their offense did look pretty set. I think next week, if we can, our defense can play the same way it did. Get after Brady. Brady's a fucking statue in that pocket. If we can actually get some pressure on him, now he's much better at getting that ball out than maybe anybody besides Peyton. Like, it sucks, man.
I mean, even with all those people out, Brady was still 31 of 42 for 271.
Did they run the ball at all?
12 carries
Fournette had.
for
yeah.
Leonard Fournette, and then 1 carry for Perriman, and then 1 for Tom Brady.
So you're saying they had 13 rushing attempts?
14
Play.
because they're counting Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
it
but
one.
that was not. I guarantee
is
you
a
it wasn't
scramble.
a planned one. That wasn't a scripted run.
Yeah.
They had 13 scripted runs. And how many times did Tom Brady throw the ball?
42.
Plus the time he ran it.
Yeah.
Plus any
Plus the
times he
3
got
times he was
sacked.
sacked. 3 times.
So
He
we're at
dropped
like
back
45,
46
46. I mean,
dropbacks, I'm
6,
assuming,
so
unless it was like
you're
a
talking about that. So you know what your defense has to do next week. 40 fucking 6 passing plays.
I mean,
called
that
versus
one rush
13
might have
run
been
plays.
maybe it was a QB sneak because Tom Brady does run QB sneaks.
Okay, versus 14. Like you're still talking about like 45 versus 14.
yeah. I was just thinking 1 for every year he's been on this earth.
Plan for the pass. You know they're gonna do it. Our pass rushers can just fucking pin their ears
But-
back and go. If you want to call a blitz, fucking call a blitz. They're not gonna run by it. They don't want to run apparently. So
Oh no,
fucking
don't you
go.
fall for that. Sam, do not fall for your own shit. Leonard Fournette has been a monster so far this season.
Well, fucking.
Leonard Fournette has
If
been
Leonard
making-
Fournette beats us, so be it. Do not let Tom Brady beat us. Like
I
get
guess he
after
does
Tom.
only have 45 touches on the year.
Yeah,
That's third most in
Green-
the NFL.
Green Bay is looking like a pretty stout defense this year too.
They are.
Like
And
they,
they're-
Their offense is looking like they need to figure it out, but I think they will. It's early. I think by the end of the year, Green Bay's offense will probably look a little bit different. I think,
Yeah, because this game, the first 2 games, Leonard Fournette had 21 attempts against Dallas and then 24 against New Orleans.
there you go.
So I mean, I'm surprised he didn't get something more similar to that today, based on the lack of receiving threats.
Yeah, it
Tom
was like
Brady
what
threw the
Cole
ball.
Beasley and
Yeah,
who are the receivers?
I mean, I didn't even see
Brady
Cole
is
Beasley out there on the field. It was just
Tom Brady is calling your offense.
Yeah, Perriman. Yeah,
Your
Cole
quarterback is
free
your
catch.
quarterback is calling your offense. You're going to throw the ball.
Byron Leftwich is just sitting there and he's like, "Can I please call one play?" And Tom Brady's like, "Fuck you, dude. You couldn't beat me whenever we played each other in the NFL. You're not going to beat me in this decision-making process."
It's like he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me, Brian? I've been in football longer than you. I think."
Like I said, he was like, "I was playing against you and I was better than you then."
Right, like, no, shut the hell up, kid.
so
I will
their
call this offense.
their receivers are Gage, Brait, Perriman, Darden, Beasley, and faster than Tyreek Miller.
And if only we could
Scotty
go
too
up
hot.
against. If
Scotty
only
too
we
hot.
could go up against that next week, but
Right.
instead we're gonna get a Mike
Well,
Evans.
Russell-
Mike Evans,
And Russell Gage,
maybe Godwin.
Russell Gage was one of their bigger pickups in the offseason. He's a nice player. He was previously with the Falcons, I believe, last year.
Yes.
Let's move on to tonight's game. The 49ers losing to the Broncos 11-10.
that game was unwatchable.
It was. I turned it off. I stopped watching it.
Luckily, I was watching it on my tablet, so I was able to utilize the TV for better things, like Knights of the Old Republic. And I was also able to
Yeah.
utilize it for Breaking Bad for an episode.
Yeah, that's Russ Wilson getting booed at home again.
Mm.
And they still won.
Jimmy G throwing
It-
picks to end the game.
In Jimmy G's defense, he
Here we go.
practiced and I'm just gonna say he didn't get it. He had shoulder surgery in the offseason. He didn't practice with the team until he re-signed with them because he had shoulder surgery. So at least he has an
It's the
excuse.
same fucking team that he played with last year. Jesus Christ.
But we've seen it with
What does he need? What does
Hey.
he need?
We've seen it with Andrew Luck, Cameron Newton. Cam Newton went from an MVP winner to having that shoulder injury and the same surgery to not being to where people were questioning if he could throw a football.
Okay, but
Andrew Luck retired from the NFL due to a shoulder injury.
Okay, fine. Then why is he out there? Get him off the fucking field. If
He's
like
picking
if,
up
if
that
he's that bad.
$250,000, dog. Playing 25% of them snaps. Fuck them Niners. He wants them dollars.
Yeah, dude.
No, like-
but-
They didn't want him. He don't want them. He just wants his money.
Offer us anything for Chad Henne. Offer us anything for Chad Henne.
What if they offer us
No.
Jimmy Garoppolo for Chad Henne?
No, I mean like a pick.
Oh, dog, you're wishful thinking.
They're not gonna. Yeah, they're not about to give up a pick for an old ass quarterback.
Shock the world and sign Kaepernick.
Nah,
Back.
look, man. The Niners look bad. The Broncos. look
Jimmy
bad.
G's
It was
also
another
one of those
ugly win for
guys.
The Broncos.
That's gonna
I don't
Jimmy G
think-
will get better as the season goes. He always does. And
Yeah,
like I said, he
probably-
just hasn't had any reps leading up to
But
this.
he
They
looked-
gave
I
him all
mean-
the tray.
last week they at least won though. But
Yeah.
they
'Cause he
weren't
was coming in on that
convincing.
high. You know, like we've seen that from backup quarterbacks before, all throughout history. They come into a game, they're on a high, the crowd's behind them. They go out there and they pull out that victory. And he was playing the fucking Seahawks,
It's true.
who
And,
lost
I
to
mean,
the
speaking-
Falcons.
Yeah,
They lost to the Falcons, okay?
I know they beat the Broncos though.
The Broncos are dog shit too.
Yeah, they are. They're
I'm not
pretty bad. team,
Impressed with the
team.
Broncos after their 2 wins?
No, they look so. If they were playing a team that had, if they were playing another team that had a competent offense, like they would not have won either of those games. They just, you
Trent-
know,
If Trent Williams wouldn't have gotten hurt in this game for the 49ers, they would have won.
probably
Because
right.
Garoppolo would have had it. Took 4 sacks. He was taking a lot of them late once he left the game, once Williams left.
Probably right.
Probably right. I'll say,
Yeah.
like, they probably would have been able to sustain some drives a little longer, and the Broncos wouldn't have been able to get
Yeah.
that connect.
Hey, Broncos got themselves an ugly win, so in the NFL, wins a win.
Yeah, I mean,
Good for them, but they do have, they shouldn't feel good about their offense going forward. Like,
Yeah.
the,
you thought the Broncos
paid-
offense would have looked better after bringing in a
should not-
micromanager.
You should not feel. Yeah, you shouldn't feel good about your coach. You shouldn't feel good about your quarterback. Yet you paid your quarterback a lot of money to dude, miss some throws. And
You're paying a lot of money for a fucking 20 of 33 for 184 yards, for 5.6 yards per attempt.
Ugh.
and 11 points.
Yeah.
11.
Jimmy G, who didn't have any offseason reps, he wasn't even invited to practice.
Not even 11. Not even 11 points because their
7.3
team had a
yards.
safety, right? The Broncos got a safety, didn't they?
Yeah, because Jimmy G ran out of the back of the end zone.
Back to Dan
All on
Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky.
Orlovsky. Never go full Orlovsky.
Never
Until
go
it's
full
over.
Orlovsky.
And
I
you know
guess
he's going to, because Jimmy is going to have a long time talking on ESPN after his career or whatever network he goes
Oh yeah.
to. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have a very long time as a sports
he does
commentator.
seem like the type of guy ESPN would sign because they missed out on Tom Brady. You know, I mean, that's what the 49ers did.
Dude.
They weren't able to get
They would-
Brady, so they took Garoppolo.
I mean, if they've been paying
Jimmy G is gonna
Orlovsky,
replace Dan Orlovsky on shows.
He can work right next to him, and then we can try to take 2 people who ran out of the back of the end zone seriously when they critique. We can give it our best shot.
yeah, man. Look, they just
Dan
like
Orlovsky
who
is
is
literally cross-eyed. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, but he's wearing them cool kicks with his suits.
man.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look, they're gonna replace one handsome backup caliber QB with another.
Hey,
Right.
Jimmy
Orlovsky.
Garoppolo's defense. He's been to a Super Bowl and he's been to the NFC Championship game.
I
He's
know,
been
and
a-
the team still couldn't wait to replace him.
Packers couldn't wait to replace Aaron Rodgers. They
Aaron
drafted
Rodgers
his
is a
backup
little
how many years
older.
ago?
Aaron Rodgers is a little older, and they didn't actually end up trying to replace him.
Yeah, it's
That was the Packers just being incredibly stupid.
like honestly, Trey Lance up to this point in the season didn't look a lot better than what Jimmy Garoppolo looked today.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
I mean, I'm just
He didn't.
maybe the 49ers problem stems deeper than the quarterback. Maybe it's, the loss of Mike McDaniels.
The loss of Mike McDaniel seems huge, man.
He
because
seems
their
like the guy
offense-
that was probably building up the quarterback while somebody else was trying
Right.
to tear him down.
the offense looked bad.
Yeah.
Like this whole year, their offenses. I mean, I guess last week they looked okay, but it wasn't like
It was Seattle.
in Seattle. It wasn't mind blowing. And yeah, man, they might be missing Mike McDaniel because it looks like he's doing magical things down there in Miami.
Doing some awesome stuff. I'm liking what I'm seeing down there. So yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and Tim reveal
Yes.
our pick totals.
I've got them right here, boys.
I knew you'd have it ready right when I asked you. I knew you would. You're
You don't want
so
to talk
fucking
about
reliable,
tomorrow's
man.
game.
All right. So how about I go through the games and picks? We don't need to talk about tomorrow's game.
Okay.
Just kidding.
The Cowboys might beat the Giants. Probably not.
There's
Cooper
there's
Rush,
nothing to talk about.
their backup
quarterback
QB
versus
had that
backup
one
caliber
surprise good game back, and now he's going to regress back to being a backup.
One
That's
thing to talk
what's
about is
gonna
the
happen.
Giants could be one of
Giants are gonna
two
win.
undefeated teams
They could
That's
be,
true.
tomorrow.
yeah, one of three undefeated. Wait, are there, because there's the
And the
Eagles, the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Oh, the
and
Eagles. My
then-
bad.
Yeah,
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Could be
They're,
three
boys.
they're forgettable.
So Steelers Browns game.
not.
For the Chiefs.
We had the
Uh,
Steelers Browns
We
game.
won the fourth Super Bowl. P, what are you talking about?
I mean, in recent memory, ours was been more the fourth one was way up. I'm talking about the
Anyways,
2010s. Yeah,
We're off topic now, boys.
Okay.
of course.
We're on picks.
Yes, we're on picks.
Steelers Brown games. P and Sneaky got the point there. Raiders Titans.
Did I
P
pick
Sam.
Wow.
You picked the Browns, yeah. P Sam and Sneaky took the Titans. There's a point there. Bills Dolphins. Me and P got that one.
3 for 3.
Jags Chargers. P got that one. Rams Cards. Sam and Sneaky got that one. Packers Bucks. I got that one by myself. Cowboys Giants. We don't know until tomorrow. So
I
far,
got two. Again.
Sam and I both got 2. Sneaky got 3, and P got 4. So that puts
was at-
totals.
I was at 8, right?
Oh yeah. So
Last
me,
week.
you, and Sneaky were all tied for 8, and Sam was at 4.
Mhm.
So we'll start lowest again. Sam's now at 6 currently, depending on what happens tomorrow. Could be 7.
Who did-
I am
Giants
at
win.
10,
picked the
Sneaky's at
Giants.
11, and P's at 12. And then it all depends on what happens tomorrow.
Who all do we take tomorrow?
So Cowboys Giants, Sam and I both took the Giants, and you two took Cowboys. But don't worry, Sam picked the Giants, so
I don't feel good.
he's
about
already gotten his 2 points this week, boys. Sam's on
The
a
max.
constant 2 point a
That's what
week.
I max out at, guys.
I get
there
it.
we go. That's where I cut the line.
Hey.
82.
So we should try again for next week. Maybe you'll get 3. Maybe you'll get 4. You might get 3 this week.
And you really think about it, you're not down. I mean, for 17 weeks of football, you're not down very much yet. So
Exactly, because we're doing 7 a week.
Already down like 6 to the leader, and we only pick like
You
six.
could just
no,
get,
you're down. Yeah, you're down 6 to the leader.
maybe next week you'll only get 1 right.
Yeah, maybe I'll only get 1 and you'll only get 6 out of 7.
You'll look back and be like, well, man, I wish I had that 2 again.
Could have really used that too. It's double.
All right. So
All right,
Thursday,
so let's go through some games.
Miami and
Mess
Cincy.
up my mic again.
Miami, Cincy.
Miami.
Cincinnati.
I'll take Cincy.
Is it at Cincy?
Yeah.
I don't care. Miami.
Taking Cincinnati.
I am too. Even though I don't believe in Cincinnati. I'm going against Miami this week.
I just feel it. I feel it.
I've taken them every other week. So
They did a good job covering Tyreek Hill twice last year. After a certain point in time. So
Sam?
Miami, which means I should go Bengals. I'll go Miami.
Okay.
Go Bengals. Go.
Don't pick because you think Oh, my pick's wrong. You pick who you think is gonna
I don't
win.
know. If one more week like this, I'm definitely going to that strategy.
You did a little bit last week though. You did change
I
once,
don't
I
remember that.
think.
I don't remember that.
Once or twice. Maybe those are one of the ones you got right.
I don't remember that. We're going on.
Okay. How about do we want to pick Minnesota, New Orleans, or do we want to come back to that one?
There's
back to
no
that
way I
one.
would ever pick New Orleans to score
Not
points.
after what I've seen the last 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
Is it in New Orleans?
I don't give a shit. They can't score points.
Is it at prime time?
It's 8:30 p.m.
What?
So it's anti-prime time.
It's anti-prime time. But that might be enough for me.
Early morning, but it's kind of prime time. 'Cause it's the only
We'll come
game
back to it if we
on.
We'll
absolutely.
come back to it if we need it. If we need it.
I know we're not going to. We're probably all going to pick Cleveland over Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sam.
Atlanta won this week.
Yeah, but they beat the Seahawks.
Oh, well, we can
Niners
pick
beat the
it, and
Seahawks
Sam
and
can be
lost.
the only. Hey, we
Don't
can
talk
pick
him
it
out of
and
his
give-
bad picks. Bad picks, man. God, he's a
Okay,
man. He
fine.
can take care of himself.
Yeah, Jesus, PP. Anyways, we're gonna move on from that.
The next one's bad.
Washington, Dallas. We have to pick 7 games.
Yeah. And there's not a lot this week, by the way.
Oh,
I mean, that's at least toss up. Like it's,
That one's a
Oh.
good pick because they're both either could win.
I would say
I'll take-
Dallas because Carson Wentz has never played well in Dallas, and it's at Dallas.
yeah, I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, I'll go
Micah
Dallas.
Parsons is going to. Micah
Okay,
Parsons.
I'm going
might
Washington.
actually
So
I'll go Washington.
Yeah, he might. Micah Parsons.
no,
might
Sam,
retire
you
post-
already
I'm gonna
said
go
Dallas.
Washington. I'm
Sam
gonna go
already said
Commanders.
He
Dallas.
just said Washington.
He said Dallas
You
first.
give
going
him
Commanders.
Washington.
I am.
Let's split it. Tim, I'm sorry. Let him get the.
Give him the
let him get
Commanders.
the one. I'm sorry. I should be picking the Cowboys because I hate them more, but
All right, Seattle, Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit. So skip that one.
Tennessee, Indianapolis. They're both winners over AFC West teams.
Man, I don't really care about that game.
I don't either, but I would say
Not about carrying. It's about picking who you think is gonna win.
Tennessee.
He's gonna win, so I'm gonna go Indianapolis.
Tennessee.
So you're going Indy, Sam.
Gonna go Indy.
He's going
Okay.
Indy. He said it.
Oh, he's gonna put the faith in Indy. I'm gonna go.
No.
I'm gonna go Tennessee.
You guys don't do that to me. Don't put me on an island of
Oh yeah,
Indianapolis.
no.
P, you're taking Indy? I mean,
No,
Sam's got
I mean, Tennessee, sorry. All right.
All right,
Good
fine.
try.
You got another one on me. You got another one. And remember
Sam-
next week when
Sam,
we're talking about
Page
this.
is real
got
big
another
on
one.
Indy.
Do we want to do the Giants and Bears, or is that just
So,
all right?
No.
Eagles, Jaguars. Dougie P's return to Philly. I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles, but I think we're gonna find out like how for real the Jaguars are.
But Doug Peterson gets a standing ovation. Anything
Gotcha.
less is unacceptable.
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Is that
Philly.
in Philly? That's in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Philly. I'm going Philly.
Philly.
Split.
I always love it.
Yeah.
Sneaky and I take the same team.
Philly.
It's either whenever Tim and I take the same team, or whenever.
Oh
Sneaky
yeah, because it
I have
doesn't involve me. Yes, we figured it
Whenever
out. We figured
Sam
out
and
the
I
team.
take the
We
same
figured out
team,
the
I've always
game. Whenever it's me and Tim, and whenever it's me, as long as I'm not picking with Sam, it's actually seems out really good, you guys. Wait, I'm going Philly. I'm going Philly there.
You already
Philly.
said
I think-
Jacksonville,
No,
dog.
it's Philly.
You're not. You're going Jacksonville.
Nope. Too late. I already switched them.
Jacksonville for
Sam
Sam.
is the
Yeah,
Eagle.
remember Tim? They made me switch. They did this too, so I'm going Philly now.
He's a fucking Jacksonville Jaguar this week. I heard him say it.
You can switch.
Philly.
I
Take it
switched them.
easy.
I'm taking the Jags by myself, so I cannot get a point. So it's okay.
On the Jags.
He's on the Eagles.
That's
The
good.
Steagles.
He doesn't
my
deserve
curse.
to be on our
I'm
winning
sorry.
train after doubting us for a half a second.
P, if I curse them, I will never do it again. It's just one game. I'm sorry. It's just the one loss. I won't curse them again though. I'll just take him this time.
Jets and Steelers.
No,
No, thank you.
Steelers,
Bills and fucking Ravens.
Bills.
Ooh. I like that game.
Game we've
Ravens.
been waiting for.
Taking Baltimore. And it's gonna be fucking tucked away at noon.
Why would they do that to us?
I'm going with the
Why
Bills.
they do that this week with the Bills and Dolphins, and now they're gonna do it with the Bills and Ravens? What the fuck are they doing with the scheduling? What the hell?
Yeah.
Let me guess. The Monday
doesn't
night's
have-
game.
At least as we've seen from all the other games we've named off, it's not like this week where it was like 5 good matchups on at noon.
All right,
Sam, you cut out, so I don't know what you picked.
I haven't.
No.
What have you guys picked?
No, it's not important.
Who do you feel is gonna win?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. The Bills.
All right, so P's by himself.
Bills. Ravens are definitely winning that game.
I was on my own when I took the Jaguars, and I'm counting the Texans because they should have gotten blown out by the fucking Colts, but they tied them. So I kind of accept that.
I accept that. If you take that point, then I'll take that point because
We
I
all
also
get that
picked the.
point, but none of us
Yeah,
lost.
yeah, I know.
But I was happy about that one. All right,
Is that it?
Chargers and Texans. I'm not going to take the Texans.
We're at 5, by the way, so far.
So yeah, we got. We're not going to take the. I mean, there's the Cardinals and the Panthers. They seem pretty equal.
No,
But I'd
Cardinals
say
will win.
Cardinals. I don't like what I've seen for the Panthers. Patriots, Packers.
Packers.
Yeah, without knowing the full status of Mac Jones, you have to say the Packers.
Yeah,
I mean, with the stat, I don't care if Mac Jones is fully fucking healthy. You say the Packers.
all right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
you're probably right.
All right. Broncos, Raiders,
Broncos.
Okay.
Raiders.
Raiders.
Is it in Vegas?
Oh shit, Raiders. Probably Raiders, right? They haven't gotten a win yet.
They haven't gotten a win, and their offense looks better.
Then
They're at least better when
Broncos, but-
they're at least better when they're in desperation mode.
I don't know.
I'd take the
It
Raiders.
sounds like a dog shit game to watch, but
Yeah, and I mean we're gonna get to because it's on at 3:25. So we're gonna get to watch it because it's a division matchup and that's our area.
Yeah, I mean,
I just pray that
Yeah.
earlier in the day we get to watch the Bills and Ravens, but because we're gonna have to watch the Broncos and Raiders, I'm assuming we're going to watch because the NFL hates our area. You know what?
I'm gonna pick the Broncos in that game.
Yeah, sorry. You're taking the Broncos. I'm taking the Raiders. Sam.
Sam took Raiders. I took Raiders.
Okay.
I got it all down.
Ooh, am I by myself on the Broncos?
Yep.
maybe I should change to the Broncos. I'm just kidding.
Chiefs, Bucks.
We don't
We'll
bet
pick
on the
that.
Chiefs,
We'll pick that.
but we can. We pick against the Eagles every week, so
That's fine. I mean, we're not all Eagles fans.
Okay, then give me the Bucks. All right.
What'd you say?
Well, we
Then
also
give
could do
me-
the Rams and the
Then give me
49ers.
the Bucks.
yeah. We have 2 games left. It's Chiefs, Bucks, or San Fran and Rams.
Or we can go back to the Minnesota, New Orleans. We had this.
I'd rather pick the San Francisco Rams game.
Okay.
Good divisional matchup.
I'll take Niners.
I'll take Niners.
I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Niners, I think. Yeah, it has nothing to do with you, Sam.
It's because the Niners are really good against the Rams
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, last year
that's
they
true.
swept them, I believe,
That's true.
but they lost to in the playoffs.
And I think, each week Jimmy's going to get better with the Niners.
Yeah.
Well, he looked
He's
worse
just
this
got a
week than
little
he
bit
did
of
last
catching
week.
up to do. He came into that game
Looked
late.
worse this week than last week.
Yeah.
So that's 7 picks. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That's
what we're
exactly
trying.
what we
The
do every
goal
month,
is to
every
find
week.
7
We do every
games
week.
every week that we feel worthy of picking.
That's right.
All right, boys, that's our NFL for the week. Let's move on to a little bit of MLB news. We had Pujols hitting his 700th home run.
The same game he hit his 699th home run.
Yeah, first one of the
Back-to-back
700 club to do it.
It's awesome.
He did it
Yeah.
like the third and then fourth inning.
Yeah, and what was really cool is he did it at Dodger Stadium, a team that he did play for. So
Briefly, yeah.
if it couldn't have been at home at the Cards, it was at least at a team that he played.
One
in
of
the
the favorite things from it was the Giants outfielders watching it live mid game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but
Uh-uh.
while it happened, the Giants players, like outfielders, are just standing there like with their hats off, watching the board after it happened.
That's cool.
Yeah, they'd stop the game to watch it. So I was like, it was cool moment.
Yeah.
It would be on
It was,
ESPN's website.
And okay, so there's 4 of them in the 700 club. The 600 club only has 9, including the 4 of them.
Right.
So
It's incredible.
That's
and
who
I saw
You have
who are the 4?
Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds,
Barry
and
Bonds.
then, Hank Aaron.
Yep.
So I mean
and
that those 4 are
Yeah.
the best hitters of all time, if not maybe the 4 best hitters of all time. Power hitters, anyways.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, to be in that kind of club.
I saw
That's what's crazy, man.
I saw a tweet, I think, and it said something like you think of an excellent power hitter, you think, okay, they'll probably hit the 500 club. The 600 club's like if you're a platinum power hitter, and then they didn't even have a category for a 700 club. So
Tim,
Kinda ridiculous.
that meme you sent us, or that tweet you sent us earlier about his average base time.
oh yeah,
Mention that.
Oh yes. Yeah.
That was cool.
Great stat.
I want you to be the one to mention it.
yeah, I
Right.
kind of forgot about that actually. So yeah, so Albert Pujols' average home run trot over the years has been tracked by Statcast as 26 seconds. Extrapolated over his full career, Pujols has spent just over 5 hours of his life running the bases after hitting a home run.
So
Oh,
cool.
okay.
5 hours.
5 hours, man. Hey,
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
that's nuts.
Do you
But
think
yeah.
Bulls could run for 5 hours continuously?
No.
Could you? I mean, like, man, I could hardly run for 5 minutes continuously. Like,
Yeah, I'm probably never going to do that again.
Yeah.
out of the
But yeah,
cards.
congrats to Pujols. It's awesome to
Yeah,
see.
man.
Yeah, it's great.
Sam got to
Nice
see him
moment.
over at Chrysler Stadium.
There's also a really cool video too that you can look up. I think it was a tweet I saw by SportsCenter or ESPN or somebody posted it, but it was it shows every one of his hundreds hits. But I think it might have started with his first home run maybe, and then did 100, 200,
Yeah.
300, 400, 500, and it was cool. And they show you the date that he did them.
Oh, that is cool.
It gets a little longer every time, it took him,
Yeah,
because he's getting older, but
Yeah.
it was cool to watch all of his 100 home
awesome.
runs. But yeah, congrats to Pujols. Another home run guy we got to talk about is Judge. He's still stuck at 60.
But he hit that 60 in a pretty cool way.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
well,
did.
in a cool game.
In a
Like,
cool game,
well,
yeah.
Part of a comeback, right? Part of that
Yeah.
ninth inning comeback.
And then
It's his solo shot. Then the Yankees load him up and fucking
John Carlos Stanton hits the grand slam.
grand slam to
Walk
end it,
off.
man. Walk off. Yeah, dude. When they were down by like 3-2, right? So I think it was just enough to
Oh, that's
win
dirty.
it, like,
Yeah. But since then he's been stuck to that. How many games did I say earlier? Is 10 left?
10 left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that was just earlier this week, like,
Yeah.
so it's been like what 3 or
I've
4
watched
games without home run.
2 Yankees games in hopes to see the 61st home run,
Yeah.
which is 2 more than I've watched all year.
Now that everyone's watching it, it's not going to happen.
I'll
Yeah.
start watching once the wild card starts.
I don't know. This might be worth
Well, yeah.
mentioning too, and since we're in baseball, but me and Sam were pretty excited over it. But the Royals come back today. They were down, what was it, 11-2, and in the 6th inning scored 12 runs, I think,
Damn. I could have
Uh,
gotten that game.
or they scored 11.
Not quite.
No, they
I
were
think it was
down 12-2.
I'm not gonna lie, I had the opportunity to go to the Royals game today.
You
You
should
should
have,
have.
because in the
I
6th
chose
inning
to
they scored
watch.
11.
I chose to watch
Yeah.
football instead.
Oh yeah,
but in
true.
the 6th inning, they scored 11, and only one of those was with less than 2 outs. So
2 of them.
none of those, 2 of them. Okay,
The first 2 were with 1 out, and all the rest were with 2 outs.
with 2 outs.
Hey,
So
keep
nine
that line
nine
moving.
runs, 2
Yep.
outs. Hey,
awesome.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
anyway, I figured I'd
Line
mention
moving.
that real quick.
That was cool.
That's it.
We also fired our Dayton
Oh,
Moore.
Dayton
Oh,
Moore,
Dayton.
yeah.
So the guy who built our championship team. So
Hey,
Um,
I mean, just because it ended with him getting fired doesn't mean that he did not have a successful run in Kansas City. He had an
of course
awesome
he did.
epic
He
run.
built a championship. He built a championship team
World
on a
Series.
budget. On a
Exactly.
budget.
He built a team that went to back-to-back World Series
Series.
on a fucking budget.
Like,
So, like,
very impressive.
yeah, he was able to convince the Kansas City Royals ownership to trade for fucking 2 people at the All-Star break,
Yeah,
Zobrist and Cueto.
I know.
Dude,
The
that-
only time in my life I think we've ever done that.
The only time I've ever seen us
We've
bring
we've been buyers,
fucking
and not
people.
sellers.
Yeah,
So yeah.
But yeah.
awesome. I'll always have fond memories of Dayton Moore as the
I know, and you would think if we we thought he was doing such a bad job and like the whole thing that we'd like just kind of clean house with the front office, but then we just like elevated our assistant GM, who was like
Maybe-
the assistant GM under Dayton,
maybe Dayton
JJ,
just was ready to leave.
maybe.
He supposedly, when he left, he went down to the clubhouse and had like a very tearful speech about being let go to the players, and then on his way out spent like 30 minutes to an hour talking to people at the ticket booths
That's awesome.
for
Yeah.
parking, like the people that work the parking booths.
Nice.
I mean, he's been there, guys. He was here since what, 06? Dude, brought him in. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
been with us for a long time and had like some great success. So,
Absolutely. I mean,
all right. But I mean, if we think we can do better,
yeah.
maybe if we start actually spending money on the team for our new our new ownership thinks they can do better, then fucking spend some money.
Let's not
Who
talk
knows?
about new ownership, because then it'll
Um,
get me on a rampage about why the F we need to move downtown. But
Yeah, I
let's
know.
not
We
do
need
that.
to. Let's.
So let's move off of baseball. Let's go into the NBA. This is on you. Sam knows more about it too.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not real caught up on it. So
I mean, we had the bombshell from Boston,
yeah.
Yeah.
getting suspended for the full year.
in which we're still kind of waiting for the full story of what that was really about.
A lot of my reaction is based on the 2 videos Matt Barnes released.
Yeah.
You had
right?
the
That was
first
weird.
one where he was very in defense and he's saying this is something that's not out of the ordinary to have happen, that it is very common within the NBA organizations for there to be people dating within the organization. He said that,
You're around these people every day. Like,
Yeah. He said that is very common from his experiences in the NBA to taking that video down within an hour,
So,
to then the
yeah.
next day posting a video apologizing for the previous video because he had heard more information that shed more light onto it. And then according to Bleacher Report, there were inappropriate comments being made that kind of sparked an investigation into this. So yeah, Joe Mazzulla will be stepping in as head coach for the Boston Celtics, taking over a team that came 2 wins away from an NBA championship.
Mhm.
So he
Yeah,
has a
that's-
very talented roster, and I mean,
That's what
you're
you gotta
talking
know
about a
these
very
rookies,
talented
like-
young first-year coach who is now suspended for an entire season.
Yeah,
Well, depending on
so
what that information is, may never coach again.
Exactly, and
gotta
that's what a
be-
lot of
pretty big.
yeah.
'Cause, like,
For
I mean,
like, it's one thing for like Matt Barnes to like come out with another video and be like, "Oh, it's way worse," but he took down the first video
First
and
one,
apologized for it.
yeah.
Within an
So
hour,
there's
there's
gotta
a lot of
be-
people who
he took it down very quickly. Like whenever I watched it, it was off of third parties, who had been sharing it because obviously once it hits the internet, it's pretty much there. But yeah, I mean,
And this is a dude that drove like 100 miles to beat someone's ass once, right?
Derek Fisher's, he drove that far to beat Derek Fisher's ass, and because
Yeah. So if this guy's saying it's pretty bad,
this is a dude who's host of, I mean, he got hot, I mean, he loves weed. He's a pothead too. And so think
when
about
the
it.
news
Stoner drove that far to beat a dude's ass.
so broke, that he was getting suspended because he had a relationship with one of the staffers, right? Like an affair with a female staffer, a
Yeah.
consensual one. Like everybody raised a lot of eyebrows, and everybody, it was like, why would you suspend a coach an entire year for having a consensual relationship with
Yeah.
a female
So
staffer? Which is
Bill
Matt
Jackson
Barnes'
and Jeannie
original
busted that
reaction.
for a long time.
Which, yeah, I mean, which was everybody, like RG3 was tweeting about, everybody's tweeting about it. Like, how the fuck are you going to suspend this guy this long for that? Like, that seems like the craziest shit ever. And then, yeah, to have Matt Barnes. So I've heard talks that there may have been multiple women involved. Then
Yeah.
there talks about there were he made unwanted comments towards the female, and you're like, well, if they were having a consensual sexual relationship, how, if everything was already consensual and they had a consensual relationship, then how bad were these comments that made her like report this? So what did he say? Because it was more than just like flirtatious, because they were having a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So you
I
can't.
wonder if it isn't a
just like-
situation where he was like secretly filming them.
Maybe.
Or-
I mean, it was comments. So, I mean, it could have been like, we don't know. It could have been like blackmail, like him being like holding up her job over, shit.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. We don't know if it was, like just sexual in nature, because they were having sex. So we don't know if it was threatening. We don't know if, like, that's the really concerning part. Like,
Yeah. So Matt
How-
Barnes seemed like too shook for it to be.
right. So I don't think it's just, yeah. And maybe there, like I said, you hear talks that there could be more than one girl involved.
It's probably something
Uh,
bad that's just not going through our heads. Like it's just. Yeah.
It's
Who
probably
knows,
gone
man?
through our heads, but we just don't want to say it.
Like I like at this point, I really have no idea what it could be.
Maybe
Like I don't even have a guess.
maybe it was not. Maybe they're just saying it's consensual now.
Or
Yeah.
maybe they're trying to like keep it to where you won't like that's all you think is that it's because of that.
Yeah.
Like that it could be a completely separate reason and they're just using that as the cover.
Yeah, as of right now, this is a Boston Celtics imposed suspension. It's not an NBA suspension. So that is the other big thing that to take.
Yeah, that
this-
kind of screams I don't want the league investigating this.
This is an internal situation where they suspended their own coach for a year.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
pretty bad.
like,
And are you going to bring that guy back after that?
yeah.
How,
And that's
yeah,
a lot of the
you-
talk is Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN made mention of, maybe this is one of those situations you suspend him for the year because he is a very talented coach until more information comes out to where he becomes unhireable.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to fire him just immediately go sign somewhere else and it become a Deshaun Watson.
Well, yeah, I mean,
If it
you
is
know,
worse-
the Celtics, but the league doesn't want that to happen.
Exactly. But
That's
maybe
that's
what the
that's
Celtics
the
are.
business side of it. Like they just want to cover their asses because he could like you don't want him to get signed somewhere else and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Look, I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, if he is gonna go,
Well,
if he is gonna go
something's-
somewhere else, they're gonna make sure they get compensated for it.
Yeah, and I mean if it's
And,
bad enough for your
dude,
own team to suspend you for a year, it's probably bad enough to where you don't get another job.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
my assumption of the situation, especially for a second year head coach who came 2 wins away from an NBA championship.
Yeah, it's
This isn't
nuts.
this isn't one of those filler coaches that you hire to get you through a period of time until you're ready to hire the coach. This isn't one of those situations. This is
Yeah.
like you think you can win with that dude as your coach.
I mean,
Crazy
you know,
situation. I
and-
imagine we're probably gonna hear more this week about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that
They
more will
can't keep
continue
a
to
lid on
trickle
that shit
out.
forever.
We'll have a
Man,
little more to
the-
say about it, hopefully
and
soon.
his wife is like a beloved figure too. That
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nia Long.
like,
Yeah, his wife's a baddie.
or they're not technically married actually.
Fiance.
They're not acting fiance, something like that. Yeah, but they've been together for a while, right? I don't know if they're,
Yeah.
but yeah, to cheat against her, what's your problem, dude? Like, how selfish can you be? Like, you already get okay, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, can't wait to hear what the actual details are. I mean, I can because I'm not excited about it, but
Yeah.
I'm
I wanna
very
know more.
curious, super curious to what made you do that to your coach. Who, like
Yeah.
I said, 2 wins from a ring.
And a little on a lighter note that we can end it on is CJ McCollum received a contract extension from the Pelicans.
Oh yeah, he did. He did like a 2-year or something like that.
Yeah, 2-year extension.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for the Pelicans.
We also have the Suns owner is looking to sell the Suns and the Mercury.
Yeah, that's
Seth
right.
Carver.
Get him the fuck out of there.
He's doing that.
Another-
Ben Simmons finally
so-
spoke out about the issues that plagued him over the last year.
Coming back to the Suns thing, because we
Alright.
didn't really talk, the league is been cleaning house for the past decade or so now, because this is the third time in the past decade they had to get rid of an owner for being, an old racist, sexist asshole. Like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, the NFL is probably the same way. They're just better at covering up or more terrible about covering up their shit.
I was like, are they?
I don't know how you want to
Are
put
they
it. I don't want to
better at
say
it because
better.
we had the three different owners for
Well-
one fucking team say racist things.
The one difference between the NFL and everybody else is the NFL are masters at controlling the media,
And
the narrative around their league. They're brilliant.
and
They are, but I will
and
say
people
the
are
Texans
willing.
have had 3 separate members of their ownership crew say racist things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like the NFL as a game, like you can't get people to stop watching it for anything.
you
Oh, yeah.
can't. I know the NFL's way too powerful. Like people are going to keep watching it. The NFL, and it's a lot harder to organize 53 players to like sit out of a game than it is basketball when you have like a dozen dudes. It's tougher, man. The NBA is so much more like player. Oh, not but like I feel like the players really do have a lot more say in the NBA, which is really good. Obviously.
Well, individual
Um,
star power is a lot harder in the NFL too, because how often do you see these dudes' faces?
Right. I mean,
They don't even let them take their helmets off.
Well, I mean,
Some of
it's
the big
like
ones.
you had LeBron and Steph Curry both reach out to Adam Silver, the
Yeah.
commissioner of the NBA, over this situation. Those are arguably the 2 most popular people in the NBA is Steph Curry and LeBron James.
Yeah.
But
Those
the
are
2
two
of them
biggest
both
stars.
reached out to your commissioner and were like, yo, we've got this punishment's a joke.
And it was.
Yeah.
So, and
Absolutely.
it's not like this guy was some beloved owner and figure before all this. He's been fucking hated by by all of Phoenix for a long time. Like
Yeah.
they wanted him the fuck out. They want any reason to get this guy the hell out of there. So like no love. And then the asshole, his comments after he loses it like his press conference afterwards was just so fucking woe is me bullshit. Like it was the most disgusting fucking thing, dude. Like
Yeah.
I guess the positive things that I've done just, get outweighed by this negative thing. You're like, dude, shut the fuck up. Didn't positive things that you've done. Everyone wants you.
did he
Everyone
mention
knows you're a
cancel culture?
sack of shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyways,
Did he say cancel culture during the?
God, he might as well have. Like, dude, it was sick, man. He basically did.
What kind of country you can't say the N word or degrade women?
Integrate.
God.
Some bullshit. God, dude.
You mean
yeah.
to tell me that flashing my penis at people is a bad thing?
Yeah. Oh, he did say in this unforgiving climate.
What if it's
He
looking
said-
really good today?
He said unforgiving climate.
My
Oh my
God, you said the N word
He said
three times. Three
yeah,
times. and the-
multiple. I thought it was 5. I don't know. I
well,
heard.
I was gonna say 3 times, and then the coach said you can't say that. So he said it. He
Two
goes,
more.
well, why not? Draymond Green can run up the court saying, and then the coach had to say to him, "Dude, you have to fucking stop saying that fucking word right now."
Right. It's
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, huge piece of shit. Glad he's getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Hopefully they get
Don't
sold
let
to
the North
Kansas
do it.
City. Bring him. We'll take. I'll be a Suns fan. Okay, Kansas City Suns, KC Suns, baby. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do
I'll root
this.
for them as my second or third favorite NBA team.
Yeah. Do something useful with a fucking T-Mobile arena
Come on, bring him.
instead of ruining rock concerts.
Hey, you know what else? We'll also steal Phoenix's hockey team too, because you ain't doing shit with the Coyotes. You putting them
Did he-
in like a
he own
1,000
them too?
person arena. You're going to be playing in a 5,000 person arena, and you are an NHL hockey team. The
He
fuck
didn't-
is wrong with you?
But he doesn't own them, does he?
No,
Oh, okay.
We'll
I
just
don't
take
think so. We'll just take them too, because they got to be looking to sell. Like the
I mean-
NHL, you are a hockey team in the middle of fucking Phoenix.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like you're a hockey team in Phoenix.
My
They don't.
only question with
Ice doesn't exist.
the Suns is it a package deal? Do you also get the Mercury? Because then you get a WNBA team as well.
Take it.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Or
Let's
is he
do it.
selling them separately?
Yeah, they might be separate. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I feel like all those WNBA franchises are like literally tied to NBA franchises.
I mean, they also. I mean, they. So the WNBA is funded by the NBA. The NBA,
yeah, they're totally subsidized by the NBA.
yeah, they make up for all the losses that the WNBA brings, but
I mean,
Like,
bring them
honestly,
on
like,
over.
I will
I'll
say
take,
this,
dude. I want an
take the
NBA and a
WNBA
WNBA team. Fucking hell yeah.
support them too. I'd buy a Mercury jersey.
Hell yeah. Bring them on over.
AC Mercury, yeah, I'd rock it.
Kansas City
Do
loves
it.
their teams.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
We'll
like
support them.
in this day and age where people, the WNBA is very similar to watching like the Warriors and Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of ball movement, great shooting, good fundamentals.
Hell yeah.
It gets
Let's
a lot
do
of
it.
hate, but it's just because it doesn't have the highlight reel plays. It doesn't give you the ESPN top 10. But it's gonna give you some dope finishes. But
But yeah, bring them all. Phoenix, we're gonna steal all your sports teams. Besides the Cardinals, you can fucking keep that shit, and the Diamondbacks. We don't need them either. We already got that.
yeah, we already got our own
Um,
disappointing baseball team.
Right. So yeah, we'll just take your NBA, WNBA hockey.
Yeah, give me a reason to get in the NBA. I just need a push.
Yeah, having a team
Need a
here
push.
would
A lot of
would do it.
reasons, Sneaky. It's got a lot of good things.
It does. It does.
You got a
I
lot of really
Yeah.
good
Hey,
teams right now. This is a good
when
time
it gets,
involved with the NBA.
it's got a lot of great
It kind of runs
things.
into that. There's probably a few too many games.
Hey, that's why
I
when
will
it comes to
agree.
the NBA, it gets super good at the playoffs. So watch.
Like hockey and the NBA could both be shortened by 20 games, and it would
I
make
think
it
66 is an ideal number for the NBA.
Yeah, dude, was the number of games they had in 2012, that shortened season when
Yeah.
they started on Christmas, was that 66? Or I
I
thought it was
wanna say it was-
62.
I thought it was 66.
Either way,
Yeah.
yes.
That
Let's
was
do
my
that.
ideal number.
That
I
was
love it.
perfect. That was perfect.
But
you
know,
don't need Come on. I know. Yeah. They're not going to shorten it because more games, more money. So
Yeah.
it's not happening. Baseball could also cut their season in fucking half and please, goddamn.
Yeah.
Of course, you won't, then you wouldn't have things like, Judge going for a 61 right now, right? You wouldn't have these home run chases and all
Yeah.
that shit. So
Cutting it in half.
Make
it
half
there
$1 billion
either.
off of hot dogs.
With NBA, we're talking about career records.
But-
We never really talk about single season records that much, except for when Russell Westbrook was able to do the triple double for the first time since Oscar Robinson. I mean,
Mhm.
realistically, NBA is more about career stats than
Right.
single season.
But harder to get those career stats if there's 20 less games.
True, but I mean, maybe your career goes an extra 3-4 years.
That's also true.
So
Do you typically have a lot of guys like that are like 1-year wonders in the NBA?
Yeah.
And they're just gone.
yeah, I mean,
Got 'em in
Dennis
every
Smith,
sport.
who had a really good rookie year recently, I think 2017 for the Mavs, and since then he's fallen apart. I mean, he was included into the trade for Kristaps Porzingis.
Well, I don't mean just like
But I
he was pretty good that year. I'm talking like this guy looked like he was about to be the best player in the world.
TJ Warren did it in a couple. I mean,
Derrick Rose.
Derrick
wouldn't
Rose
work.
was
Derrick Rose was injury.
He had an
though.
got
injury,
sapped
but
by injuries.
It happens with those, that's usually why.
I mean, a
things
lot
like
of
that.
those players typically it is because of injuries that do take them out, though. I mean, you get that flash. I mean, I guess you had Tyreek
Jeremy
Evans,
Lin.
who won Rookie of the
Also-
Year with the Sacramento Kings, and in the very next year, I mean, it was really apparent why he was available at 11 in that draft, opposed to being gone by then.
Man, we've gone way over.
Yeah.
But
Probably, have ended a long time ago, you guys.
Yeah.
Rambling about the NBA.
hey, you gotta,
You can cut that short like way back, right?
yeah, I'll cut
Oh,
some-
we haven't done the like, subscribe, and
yeah. I
that's
mean,
all.
Like,
Thanks
subscribe,
for
hit
watching.
spam. Fuck off.
thanks for watching this week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the Sam.
Yeah. Hit that, Sam.
Yeah, hit it good, real good.